ॐ यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभू कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञात्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दशम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ॐ वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्धृतं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। We are discussing today Yoga Vasishtha first half and 66th chapter. Till now we have discussed the story of Jivat, an ascetic, how he attains the highest samadhi. After the samadhi he comes down to the mental level and he wants to see, experience how the ignorant persons live their lives. So somehow he drinks a lot and sleeps without any sense. And in dream he goes on dreaming, dream in the dream, dream within the dream, dream within the dream. In that way he went on dreaming 100 dreams. And in the last dream he becomes the Gan, Rudra Gan. He gets good association, satsang with Lord Rudra. Rudra is supposed to be the destroyer of the creation. So when he gets contact with Lord Rudra, according to the good association, he gets the self-knowledge. He becomes awakened. He understands everything. He realizes the truth, and then he could see his 100 last births. That means he saw all those dream beings which he had passed through, and he, by his power of knowledge. He enlightened all those past lives beings, and they got together. Everybody was awakened, and then they went to their respective places and enjoyed the rest of their karma, which called prarabdha karma, and for some time they lived their life, and they came again and got together, and they disappeared in the absolute truth. So many questions, many doubts we have clarified. Now, Ramji puts the question whether that story of Jivat, the ascetic, is it true? There is some being named Jivat, or it is just concocted story. So Vasishtha replied, our Rama, he will reply on the next morning, because he wants to see all these different worlds in Samadhi at night, and then he will tell whether the person is somewhere really there or not. So next morning, Vasishtha explains to Ram, he had seen 3 Jivats, 3 such ascetics in 3 different worlds. After searching for a long time in Samadhi. So he explains to Rama on the you see methods of creations in different worlds. Some Hari Om, Hari Om. Some are similar, some are dissimilar, different from each other. And in this way, what he saw in the Samadhi state, he explained to Rama, where he could see 3 ascetics similar to each other. And after that, the Guru Vasishtha explains, चैतन्य आकाश के एक कोने में लीन जिस परिमाण के उस सर्ग में तृतीय भिक्षु विद्यमान है, वहाँ पर वहाँ के ब्रह्मा द्वारा निर्मित भुवन पद्धति इसी भुवन पद्धति के सदृश है. He says, Vasishtha ji says, Ram, I saw in the sky of consciousness, which is unlimited, infinite, not imaginable, in that sky of consciousness, in some corner, that ascetic was found, and the creator of that world created that creation in the same way as our creation is. There is some similarities. The creation process is similar to our creation also. यों ब्रह्मांड के भेद से जब पदार्थ क्रम एक सा हैं, तब भिक्षु भी अनंत हो सकते हैं, इस आशय से कहते हैं. Then he gives the argument, the logic. If 2 universes can be similar, what he saw, then many people also can be similar to each other. There will be innumerable such jivat ascetics in the innumerable worlds. There is no number, exact number of it. Similarity, if possible, then anything will be possible. There will be innumerable ascetics like Jivat. भद्र उसी प्रकार उसी अवयवी न्यास से अनेक पदार्थ होंगे और हो भी चुके हैं. So in that formula, there can be many objects similar to each other and also dissimilar as well. And they have been already existing and some have gone also. So anything is possible. Anything you say, that is possible. That's how they say, Maya yam sarva sambhava. Everything is possible in the state of ignorance. And we have seen it logically. When you don't know anything, so anything can be unknown. Unknown is unknown. So unknown will be have no limit. इस सृष्टि परंपरा में इसी क्रम से सब पदार्थ उत्पन्न होते रहते हैं. In this process of creation, innumerable beings, unimaginable number of beings are created, will be created, were created in the past, and this goes on. Here one point we should note, similarity means not 100%, because the formula says if two objects become 100% similar to each other, then they become one only. They cannot remain as two. In this way, when you think of the absolute truth all the time without break, then you become one with the absolute truth. There will not be difference between you and the truth. That's how one can attain the liberation from this cycle of birth and death. इस अर्थ में मुमुक्षु व्यवहार प्रकरण उक्त अर्थ का ही विस्तार पूर्वक वर्णन करते हैं. हे श्री राम जी, इस सभा में भी जो मुनि और ब्राह्मण हैं, वे भी भिक्षु के सदृश आचरण वाले या अपने सदृश आचरण वाले होंगे, तथा दूसरे भी अनेक मुनि सदृश आचरण वाले या भिक्षु सदृश आचरण वाले होंगे. So, O Ram, he explains according to this experiential statement. He says, in our meeting hall also, there will be so many who act like just our jivat, and there will be many different from also jivat. Similarities and dissimilarities are everywhere seen. This is so simple truth. यह भिक्षु आगे चलकर नारद के रूप से हो जाएगा और नारद भी दूसरे के रूप में हो जाएंगे. इस प्रकार ज्ञान और चरित्र से युक्त अन्य के रूप में यह हो जाएगा, यो अनेक तत्रूप में हो जाते हैं। So, another complicated fact we have to admit. In this way, if anything can become anything, and anything can remain as anything, everything is possible. So after realization of the truth also, you may come back to the creation. I gave the example, suppose we put an empty pot outside. What do we see? Empty means there will be air, there will be sky, within it, of course, no visible objects are there. That's why we say it is empty pot. But air and sky cannot be absent there. Okay, we put the pot in a particular place, and then we took out that pot and kept in different place. So now, and we placed another pot in the same last exact place. So now can you tell which sky has entered into that second pot and which has been transferred? No logic works here. Everything is possible. The same sky may be present there, or the other sky. How can we say, how can we divide the sky and give some name to the sky, previous sky and after, behind sky or prior sky? How can we divide it and know it and give name? Because it is so subtle, and subtler than this elementary sky is, what is that? The idea sky, which holds this elementary sky, idea of the sky. It is greater than, subtler than, more spreaded than this our elementary sky, though the elementary sky has no limit, it is limitless, infinite, we cannot imagine it. Something we see and named it as sky. The space is unlimited. In this way, the idea of the sky also more subtler than the elementary sky, and it holds it. And idea also is aware of the idea, that sky of awareness that holds the ideal sky and the elementary sky also. So, can you imagine something about the sky of consciousness, awareness? It is unimaginable. That's why it is said beyond our thoughts, beyond mind and intellect, beyond all the events. No speech, no mind, no eyes can see it, can reach it. So in this way, he says, Narad, etc. Narad means the celestial monk who was the mental son of the Creator. The Creator started creating different beings other than him by imagining, by thinking. Whatever he thinks, it becomes, it takes a form, it manifests, and it becomes a being. So Narad and other great subordinate creators, Prajapati, the creators, and Vasishtha also, our Guru Vasishtha, and many others, Sanag, Sanatan, Sanandan Ityadi, they are four brothers. All these are the mental children of our Creator. Long afterwards, when the creation doesn't expand rapidly, then the creation started afterwards by copulation, by we can say, by association of two, the male and female, and then we call it Maithun Sriti. Then it went on increasing very rapidly. So in this way, Narad was the celestial monk, and he had all the powers like Creator Brahma, and he had also undergone many baths before becoming Narad. All these are, we can say, just as posts. District magistrate is a post. The people will be changing every 2-3 years. Somebody will come and hold the post, the chair, and he will be known as the district magistrate. So also the ministers and all these governing bodies. In that way, these such beings, they are also some posts. After undergoing many baths, one becomes the mental child of the Creator. Just as we have seen in the story of Jibat, similarly one has to undergo many baths, and slowly when he gets accumulates some meritorious deeds, then only he becomes such higher authorities. So in this way, Narada had undergone many baths, and in the end he realized the truth, means became one with the absolute truth, and then again also he comes down to the creation. So what is the meaning of liberation? The same meaning as the sky entering into pots and going out of the pots. Is there any meaning? The sky is ever free, ever present everywhere. But according to our relative understanding, we can say the sky is bound by the walls of the pot. In this way, when one becomes one with the absolute truth, there remains no meaning of liberation. No meaning is there. Anything can happen anywhere at any conditions. Nothing can be said because it is beyond all these. So don't think after realizing the truth you are not coming here. Yet you are bound to our process of creation. Because creation is not there. It is only imaginations. So anything can be imagined any time in any condition. There is no hard and fast rules and regulations. This is what we have to understand thoroughly well so that the mind stops working. That is our aim. And the mind is root cause of all the miseries of the world. Mind should stop working. And then beyond that, whatever remains, let it. Don't worry about it. यह भिक्षु आगे चलकर नारद के रूप से भी हो जाएगा. This Jivat also becomes Narad. और नारद भी दूसरे के रूप में हो जाएंगे. And Narad also will take different forms. Because the truth is all pervading. Anything can happen anywhere without any condition. Truth is unconditional. Don't forget it. So anything you say, it is possible. Then only we say everything is available everywhere in all conditions at all time. Nothing is possible. इस प्रकार ज्ञान और चरित्र से युक्त अन्य के रूप में यह हो जाएगा. यह अनेक तत् रूप में हो जाते हैं. In this way, the absolute takes forms and creations are seen and they are unseen also. They get manifested and they dissolve also. On this basis, anything is possible everywhere in all conditions. So how many creations you can imagine? As many as you like. And they may be similar, they may be dissimilar. Anything you can imagine. You have freedom. Go on. If you can somehow or other accept this truth, then no miseries, no problems can touch you. You are beyond everything, beyond all the rules and regulations, beyond the creations. You can create and you can dissolve the creations. Then you become the creator Brahma, Vishnu, Shankar, anything you want to become, you are. You are everything. इसी प्रकार जन्मादि द्वारा अभ्यास भी होंगे. On this method, many Vyasadevs will be there. Suk भी होंगे and their children Suk. फिर सौनक भी होंगे and different monks, सौनक etc. क्रतु भी होंगे और पुला भी होंगे. The 5 and the 7 great central saints in the form of question mark which rotates around the pole star. They are said to be the great saints who keep up the balance of the universe. And the center of the universe is the pole star. the constant. The center never changes. So these 7 great saints, Pula, Pulastya, Angira, Kratu, there will be many. There will be many, not 7. अगस्त्य, पुलस्त्य, भृगु और अंगिरस, ये सब दूसरे इस प्रकार के स्वरूप और क्रिया के आश्रय चिर चिर काल के अनंतर होंगे. आफ्टर लॉन्ग लॉन्ग टाइम दे विल गो ऑन चेंजिंग. क्योंकि यह माया बड़ी व्यापक है. बिकॉज दिस इल्यूजन इज unlimited. All these are illusory forms, imaginary forms. So anything you can imagine. Ji? Yes, Vasishtha. Vasishtha is one among these 7. Yes. सृष्टि में सदृश आचार और जन्म वाले वे ही और अनेक दूसरे भी बार बार इस प्रकार आते जाते रहते हैं. जिस प्रकार जल में तरंग. कैन यू इमेजिन व्हिच वाटर पार्टिकल becomes takes part or gets placed in which wave? Which water particle remains in which wave? The water is water, the waves are seen and unseen. Nobody can count, nobody can compare, nobody can exactly say something on these. Who can count the number of waves? In the same way, in the sky of consciousness, how many creations are seen? In the same way, the wave is not different from the water. So the creations are not different from the absolute truth. They just arise and they disappear. No data, no information can be had. बार बार इसी प्रकार आते जाते रहते हैं. In this way, innumerable creations again and again appear in the absolute truth and they disappear also, just like the waves in the ocean. कोई तो अत्यंत सदृश, कोई अर्ध सदृश, कोई अल्प सदृश, कोई असदृश पदार्थ किसी समय बार बार उसी रूप में उत्पन्न होते रहते हैं. Again and again, some quite equal, some half equal, some little equal objects are created, some are dissimilar. Objects are created again and again and they disappear. There is no any data of it. इस प्रकार यह बड़े बड़े लोगों को भी मोह में डालने वाली अति विस्तृत माया ही जृंभित हो रही है, जो निरवयव कालात्मा में न मानस चेष्टा रूप है और न देह चेष्टा रूपी है, क्योंकि यह केवल भ्रांति ही जृंभित हो रही है. So in this way, great wise people also are bewildered to opine something on this illusory power. Nobody can say anything. In our Saptasati Chandi, and he said, Baladeva Niyojati. By force, it drags everyone and forces into do something in this creation. The power of illusory Maya is unimaginable. Great wise people also are forced by it. The moment you think you are wise, you are gone. And in this way, so many creations, they, with the body, without the body, and according to time, without time, according the thoughts of the mind, without the thoughts of mind, and according to the creative momentum of the bodies, and without that also they appear and disappear. It is only illusion. So nothing can be said on this. Now we got the answer of question of Ramji. Is there something truly there, like Jibat, or it is just an imaginary story? The whole creation, innumerable creations are imaginary stories only, the unending story, eternal stories. So what to speak of this little Jivat? So, where do you stand, my dear? What are you? You are some thought of some imaginary dreamer somewhere in somehow, somewhere, some place, in some time or other. You can imagine. You are the imaginary being of the dream of an imaginary dreamer. He is also a dream object of some other dreamer. There is no exact something to say. If this can be accepted as the reality, then how can you think something? How can you value your mind, your intellect, your being? How can you say, I am? You will not be able to think, I am. There is no I, there is no am. हे पाप शून्य, कहाँ 21 अहोरात्र और कहाँ अनंत जीवट आदि आकृतियाँ और उनकी उपलब्धियाँ. Basid said on that Jivat who was sitting in the Samadhi for 21 days. In that Samadhi, he also dreams like this, some imaginations, So what is the meaning of samadhi then? Everything is possible in samadhi. So don't try to achieve the state of samadhi. That is also imaginary. If you are imaginary, then where is samadhi, where you want to experience? Your experience, your everything is imagination, illusion only. So, in this state only one can remain silent. That silence is the kingdom of the truth. Absolute silence. There is no being, there is no thoughts of the being, there is no thought, nothing beyond everything. And where if such is the conditions, the situation we saw now, then, O Ram, where is that ascetic who has sat for 21 days in the samadhi, and where are other beings like him? How many? Where are they? How can you put this question whether there is some real Jivat or all these are imaginary stories? ओहो, यह मनोवृत्ति बड़ी भयंकर है. Alas, this mind is terrific. What not it can imagine. All these are the play of mind. Oh, alas, this style of thinking of this mind is really dangerous, most wonderful, unimaginable. भद्र, यह जगत केवल प्रतिभास ही है. My dear Ram, this world is only some appearance, some assumption, some accepted imaginations. और इस प्रकार विकसित होकर वैसा स्थित है. And it appears as this. जैसे प्रातः काल में जल में कमल, just as the lotus blooms in the water in the morning at the sunrise, so also these innumerable imaginary creations, they appear. और जिस प्रकार उक्त काल में अनेक तरह के भ्रमरों के कला और जल कल्लोल विद्यमान रहते हैं, उसी प्रकार इस प्रातिभाषिक जगत सत्ता में भी अनेक तरह के जीव कला और विषयानुभव जनित कल्लोल विद्यमान रहते हैं. यह आप देखिए. जस्ट आज the lotus blooms on the water surface in the early morning at the sunrise, and many black bees round about it, and they sing these sweet songs. They murmur around it, and they fight among themselves. Some they enjoy the fragrance of the honey of the lotus. Similarly, these worlds are seen, and many they quarrel among themselves, and some make friendship among themselves. Some enjoy, some suffer. In the same way. And some enjoy the worldly objects, and some get miserable by the worldly objects. Know this to be real. Know this to be the truth. This is the truth. हे रामभद्र, जिस प्रकार अग्नि कण से और च्युओं से युक्त महान अग्नि उत्पन्न होता है, उसी प्रकार समस्त अशुद्धियों से निर्मुक्त विशुद्ध संबित रूप परम ब्रह्म से ही अशुद्धात्मा की यह सारा संसार जाल उत्पन्न हुआ है। जिस प्रकार अग्नि कण से और च्युओं से युक्त महान चरित्र उत्पन्न होते हैं, just as from the big fire we see the smoke. It arises from the fire only. All those smoke, black, dirty smoke, the shoots, they are seen on the fire. Similarly, in that absolute purity, some impurities are seen in the absolute truth, which are called worlds. Impurity in the purity. He gives the example beautiful. Just as the smoke is seen in the fire, fire is so pure, it can burn anything. It is so pure. Purity is called fire, pavak, which purifies. And there we see the black smoke. Similarly, in the absolute purity, absolute truth, these worlds are seen meaninglessly as black shoots. And all these network of worlds which are so impure, so illusory, they appear in the absolute pure truth. हे रघुनंदन, जिस तरह इस भिक्षु के मन में चित्र विचित्र प्रतिभासात्मक अनेक जगत खंड आविर्भूत हुए, उसी प्रकार प्रत्येक जीव के मन में भी चित्र विचित्र प्रतिभासात्मक जगत खंड आविर्भूत होते हैं, और उन जीवों के मन में उदित हुए भिन्न भिन्न जीवांशों में भी चित्र विचित्र प्रतिभासात्मक जगत अन्य अन्य उत्पन्न होते हैं। इस रीति से उत्तरोत्तर माया लंपट जीव के लिए जगत स्थिति कहीं शांति ही नहीं हो सकती। वे पहले के जगत खंड और उन जगत खंडों के अंतर्गत दूसरे जगत खंड अपनी अपनी व्यवहार के दृष्टि से सत्य रूप हैं और सर्वात्मक चैतन्य स्वरूप हैं। कारणों के भी कारण इस परमात्मा तत्व के तादात्म्य रूप से प्रस्फुरित होने पर तो सत्य रूप नहीं ही है. So he is giving both the sides. O Ram, just as you think, so also your word is. So in that imaginary your world also, those imaginary beings, they also create different worlds. In this way, worlds within the worlds, within the worlds, there is no end to it. And all these imaginary worlds, they remain as well as they are baseless imaginations only. Both way it is, because you are the absolute awareness. So your thoughts are within the awareness, so they are true. And from other angle, because it is imagination, it has got no base anywhere, so it is just baseless illusion only. There is no existence of it from both sides. From one angle, these worlds are nothing but truth, because it is seen on the truth, in the truth, from the truth. It is only the truth. We cannot say it is false. So, from other angle, there is no existence of it. There is no reality seen. Everything is only illusory imaginations. So, as you think, so it appears. It is the play of mind only, and that play is known as hide and seek. Hide and seek. It appears and disappears. So now we have come to the last conclusion. There is no truth, there is no falsehood. This is the last conclusion. Neither truth is there, nor falsehood is there. Neither light is there, nor darkness is there. Neither knowledge is there, nor ignorance is there. If some this is how we cannot say it is not existing. Existence exists. So how can we say the world is false? It is only truth. Only truth. And from the other angle, you see, just experiment it. Have some experimental, some investigation. Stand in utter darkness, everywhere the pitch dark pervades. What will you see? Nothing. And stand in the midday sun. Can you see any darkness anywhere? So what is truth? Whether the light is true or the darkness is true. On this only, in Gita it is said, na bhavo vidyate satah na sato vidyate bhava. There is no absence in the presence. There is no presence in the absence. Absence is ever absent, and presence is ever present. Presence cannot be denied, absence cannot be accepted. That is the truth. One who sees both, he is the real seer. The way to see it, for example, just as Raman opined, some worldly people, some devotees came to Raman Maharshi and they were sitting silently. Raman also was sitting silently. Nobody was able to talk. After some time, the silence broke out. The persons, they politely requested Raman, "O great one, if you don't say anything, if you don't advise us to do something or not to do something, how can we the ignorant, worldly persons, achieve something? You are to guide us. You are to tell something. Please, please." So Raman opened his mouth. He said, "Are you ignorant persons?" "Yes, oh my Lord, we are ignorant persons, that's why we have come here." So he said, "Do you know you are ignorant?" "Yes, we know." "So how can you claim you are ignorant? You know." This is how the great people see. Only presence, only knowledge, there is no ignorance. And from ignorance side, if we see, there is no truth. You don't see anything, so there is no truth. So absent is always absent, and present is always present. The boy in the class is present, so you see him all the time. The boy is absent in the class. How can you find him out? No way, no way. Wherever you go, he is absent. Absent is ever absent. Presence is ever present. This is how, if we can understand this, if we can accept this, then mind has no way to play any mischief. Nothing it can do. It has to keep quiet. Where to go, what to do. Yatra yatra manojati tatra tatra paramritam. Wherever the mind tries to fluctuate, to go somewhere, everywhere only the bliss and bliss, nothing else, only silence. How can you talk in the absolute zone of silence? Nobody can talk. In this way, the 66th chapter ends. Now we shall see the 67th chapter, wherein we shall see समाधि में स्थित भिक्षु का देहनाश और भिक्षु ब्रह्म के सदृश दूसरे जीवों का बंध प्राप्ति और तत्वज्ञान से बंध की निवृत्ति या वर्णन. In this chapter we shall see how that ascetic, after that 21 days samadhi, he gives up the body he enters into the absolute truth. His body perishes, decomposes, and then the ignorance of the ascetichood of the person disappears. I am an ascetic. This ignorance disappears in the absolute truth. This we shall see, and also other beings like this ascetic, they have some ignorance of body, feeling or identity as something, and when that illusory acceptance of the identity goes beyond the ignorance, it takes the entrance in the knowledge. That means there is the identity disappears. They also get rid of the ignorance and birth and death. Birth and death, this cycle, this our world is nothing but mental conditions. You are a mental case. You should be sent into the mental hospital. Okay? Shall I send you? We say in Hindi, here in this locality, if somebody speaks something awkward, not relevant, then we say he is to be sent to Boreli mental hospital. Previously it was Tihri. तुमको टिहरी दिखाऊंगा.
पहले बोलते थे, अब तो बोलते send him to Ganeshpur mental hospital.
Here, of course, our ashram is a mental hospital only. Those who are not mad, they get mad. And who are already mad, they get rid of madness. So both things are treated here. The great mental hospital. Are you mad?
Yes.
No. No. So I shall make you mad. So I shall try to make you mad. Because it is mental hospital. You would be treated well. So in this 67th chapter we shall see all these. दशरथ उवाच राजा दशरथ जी ने कहा, हे मुनि नायक, आप आज्ञा दीजिए जिससे कि मेरे भेजे हुए ये मंत्री आदि जन कुटी में स्थित भिक्षु के पास जाकर समाधि से उसे जगाएं और यहाँ लाएं. अरे यार, राम जी भी कभी ऐसे ही बोले थे. वो विपश्चित का कहानी बोल रहे थे वशिष्ठ जी. He was narrating some story of Vipashchit who wanted to see the end of this creation, and he did austerities, and he got the boon from the fire god, and he became four equal, he was divided into equal four beings, and all those four beings proceeded in four directions to see the end of the creation. Of course, the fire god said it is impossible, but yet he was stubborn. He said, no, I want to see. He said, okay, go on, unending journey. So, and 3 years somehow or other got realization of the self. One was roaming somewhere and was in the form of a deer. They had to undergo many baths, many many kinds of creations. They wanted to see the end of creation. So there is no one. Innumerable creations. How can you see? So somehow or other by good association, 3 were liberated. They gave up that desire of seeing the end. The other was yet roaming somewhere and as a deer having the same desire to see the end of the creation. So when Vasishtha was telling this story, Ramji asked, "Is he yet present now?" "Yes, my dear Ram, he is yet alive." "Where is he, my dear?" "He is in your royal garden." "Oh, so I want to see him." So the deer was brought to the audience and Vasishtha wanted to bring him to human body because he was a king beforehand. Long before he was a king, and he did austerities to see the end of the creation. So Vasishtha ji prayed fervently our fire god, and fire god appeared, and the moment there was fire, the deer which was brought from the garden, he ran and entered into the fire because he was, fire god was his deity. So he disappeared, he was burnt in the fire, and then comes out a beautiful, luminous body of that king, that Vipachit. He comes out, prostrates before the fire, and welcomes everyone. And he was given a very great some seat, and he was requested to narrate his stories. And he told all the stories he underwent. And everybody was astonished. And in the end, he disappeared in the fire. That king, after telling all the stories, he disappeared in the fire. In this way, Rama wanted to see the deer. So now Dasarath also wants to see that Bhikshu. He is yet now there. So let me see. Dasarath says, "हे मुनिनायक, आप आज्ञा दीजिए जिससे कि मेरे भेजे हुए ये मंत्री आदि जनकुटी में स्थित भिक्षु के पास जाकर समाधि से उसे जगाएं और यहाँ लाएं." Dasarath requests, by hearing the story of Jivat, all these, Dasarath requests, he was very much curious to meet that ascetic bhikshu. So he requested Vasishtha ji, "O great one, please allow this my ministers to go and bring that bhikshu." तो उसके लिए आज का ही दिन विदेह मुक्ति के लिए निश्चित है। So for him, today is decided, take it for granted. Today, this day is, take it for granted that decided for his giving up body. Let him come here, let him be awakened from the samadhi, and then bring him here. Let us see. आज का दिन ही विदेह मुक्ति के लिए निश्चित है। यह जो मैंने पहले कहा था उसे भूलकर आप यह कह रहे हैं, यह भावभंगी से सूचना कर रहे हैं। महाराज वशिष्ठ जी कहते हैं, महाराज वशिष्ठ जी ने कहा है, राजन, उस भाग्यवान भिक्षु की वह देह प्राण रहित हो गई है। प्राणों को पकड़कर शरीर में रखने वाला अन्न रस उसका सूख गया है। अतः अब यह किसी तरह जीवन शक्ति का भाजन नहीं रह गया। वशिष्ठ जी डिनाइड, ओ किंग Dasarath, he has left his body and the body has become unfit to accept the essence of food. Without food, the body will not sustain itself. So, the body has become incapable of receiving some food juice. Now, that's how the prana cannot return to the body. It is said medically also, and the philosophers, they believe, after getting out of prana, the soul, when gets out of the dead body, at least for 4-6 hours, it roams around the body because of attachment. It can be brought back to the body for some time only, for little time. If that period is over, the body becomes incapable of holding that prana because of decomposition starts. It cannot receive the prana again. So within 4, 5, 6 hours, the prana can return for some time only, according to its prarabdha. So, but Dasarath said, now his body is unable to hold the prana again. He cannot come to life. So he cannot be brought here. महाराज वशिष्ठ जी ने कहे, हे राजन, उस भाग्यवान भिक्षु की वह देह प्राण रहित हो गई है. He has left his body. The prana is no more there in the body. प्राणों को पकड़कर शरीर में रखने वाला अन्न रस उसका सूख गया है. The essence of food which holds the prana intact in the body, that has been dried up. So it cannot hold prana anymore. अतः अब वह किसी तरह जीवन शक्ति का भाजन नहीं रह गया. So he cannot come back to life in any way. तब वह आपके सत्य संकल्प के प्रभाव से जी जाए. Of course, his body is unfit to hold prana again. But what about your thought power? By your thought power, he can again revive. He can come to the life. What about your thought power? You can do anything and everything. सत्य संकल्प के प्रभाव से, फिर वो जी जाए, क्यों नहीं? ऑन दिस वशिष्ठ सेज, महाराज उस भिक्षु का तो जीव अब ब्रह्मदेव का सारस बनकर जीवन मुक्त होकर अवस्थित हो गया। ओहो वशिष्ठ says, O king, now that is also impossible, because he has left the body, of course. Within this short time, he has become the personal swan of the vehicle of Brahma, the creator. He has become the personal swan of the creator. And that's how he got the good association, and he has left that body also, and he has been liberated from birth and death cycle. No more bodies he has. So it is impossible now. महाराज उस भिक्षु का तो जीव जब ब्रह्मदेव का सारस बनकर जीवन मुक्त होकर अवस्थित हो गया, अतः फिर वह संसार का भागी नहीं हो सकता। निचोड़ यह है कि यदि उस शरीर के द्वारा भोगोपयोगी प्रारब्ध बच जाता तो मेरा सत्य संकल्प काम कर जाता, परंतु यह नहीं है। He gives the clue where your willpower can work. That also is willpower also being unlimited, it can do anything and everything, yet it is limited. This is the beauty of relativity. How he says that person, that ascetic, had no more left of remnants of prarabdha. Had there been any prarabdha, I could have brought him into the life by my willpower. Then how does willpower work? It just changes its prarabdha. A rearrangement of prarabdha can be done by willpower. That's how the yogis do some magic, means by their occult power, by their willpower only, that is called occult power. They rearrange the sequence in the prarabdha system. The front line can be brought into back, and back line can be put in the front. In this way they can rearrange, that is possible. But if the prarabdha is totally gone, it is enjoyed, no more remnants, then no willpower can do anything. You cannot create somebody new by your willpower. You can change the process of actions or reactions, karma, karma theory, everything can be changed or rearranged according to your willpower. For example, for a particular student in a particular class, there is a scheme for the whole year. This much will be taught in the class in the whole year. And the teacher has its free will. He can teach the students according to the book, textbook, whatever in sequence is there. And the teacher also has his free will. He can teach something from the middle past. and he can teach the last person in the fast and the fast person in the last of the year. Anything can he do, but he has to finish the course. Once the course is finished, then he has no authority to do anything. The course is finished. You cannot change now the course. This is how. If the prarabdha is there, some people with willpower, they can change the course of their lives. But if that is not there, it is exhausted completely, completed, then nothing can be done. That is what Basirji gives the fact. Now my willpower will not do anything. Nothing can be done. निचोड़ यह है कि यदि उस शरीर के द्वारा भोगोपयोगी प्रारब्ध बच जाता तो मेरा सत्य संकल्प काम कर जाता, परंतु वह है ही नहीं. हाउ कैन आई डू एनीथिंग? अपिच उस भिक्षु ने अपने सेवकों को यह आज्ञा दी है कि कोई मास भर घर का सिक्कड़ मत खोले. अतः उन सेवकों द्वारा दृढ़ सुरक्षित होने के कारण आपके मंत्री आदि वहाँ जाकर कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. Another fact also, the ascetic when left his body, before that he ordered his subordinates, his helpers, not to allow anybody to open the door of the room for 1 month. After 1 month only, the body can be removed. He had ordered like that beforehand. So the watchmen are tightly watching the room where he sat in samadhi. So your ministers cannot go there. It is it is impossible to have entry there. So nothing can be done, my dear. अतः उन सेवकों द्वारा दृढ़ सुरक्षित होने के कारण आपके मंत्री आदि वहाँ जाकर कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हैं. उसकी कुटी में मास के आखिरी दिन में उसकी आज्ञा के अनुसार सिक्कड़ खोलने वाले बाहर द्वार के अंतराल में भिक्षु शरीर देखने की इच्छा कर रहे हैं. उसके मृत्यु बैठे हुए हैं, उसके भृत्य बैठे हुए हैं. So to see his body, all other disciples, they are waiting outside the room. After the month end, they will see this body. Nobody can enter in. And that was his will, means the will of the ascetic. And besides that, that will becomes more powerful because his prarabdha is completed fully. So it is willpower is redoubled. So nothing can be done. तदनंतर मास के अंत में अंगों की संधियों से शिथिल हुए शरीर को कुटी से बाहर निकालकर वे भृत्य उसे जल में डुबा देंगे और कुटी के भीतर उसके शरीर के सदृश पत्थर प्रतिमा रूप दृढ़ और मन कल्पित देवता रूप दूसरे भिक्षु की प्रतिष्ठा करेंगे. So the future also Vasirji explains. Now after the month end, the disciples will open the room and they will take out the body, dead body, and give jal samadhi. They will offer it to the water, and after that they will create the similar form with some stone, and they will keep there, establish the deity there in the form of the ascetic. राजन उक्त रीति से जब इस शरीर से मुक्त होकर वह भिक्षु अवस्थित है, तब भला प्राण चेष्टा आदि व्यापारों से शून्य उस शरीर को किस तरह प्रबोधित करेंगे? O king, when he has left his body by his own will, and the prana also has stopped working, so who can do anything to his body and will? Nothing can be done. Nobody can wake him up from the death. That death is eternal death. No more birth and death. प्रासंगिक प्रश्न कहकर अब प्रस्तावित विषय का ही अवलंबन करते हैं. बशीर जी नाउ टेल्स, यह त्रिगुणात्मिका माया भ्रांतियों की जननी विक्षेप शक्ति से किसी भी तरह पार नहीं की जा सकती. Now tomorrow we shall see the unlimited, uncontrollable, this power of illusion. It is beyond reach of anyone. Nobody can have any control. Achintya Rupa Charite, this Mahamaya, this illusory power, it can do anything and everything. The power cannot be reached by mind. It is beyond mind. Just like the truth is beyond mind and speech, so also the reflection of the truth, which we call it Trigunatmika Maya, the illusory power of the three qualities, that also beyond imagination. Nobody can think of it. So don't think. If you stop thinking, you can overcome Maya. Till then, you are under her clutches. Tomorrow we shall see the undescribable power of the illusion. Hari Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Sachidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Sabda Brahma ki jai. सरस्वती महारानी की जय। जोग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम।